Hello, this is Lord Thunderpork, and for the first time, it's time to mine on MineTime. Welcome to MineTime. This is where I spawned in. There are a lot of pumpkins here, and someone set up a spawn tower. So I decided to make a little pumpkin man, gave him a birch face, gave him a birch explanation, and started going around. Set my spawn over here next to this bed. Welcome. Thank you. And had an incident with some villagers. So the short of it is, now I have a lead, and actually two leads, courtesy of a wandering fellow. Lord Thunderpork might live this way in the mesa. This is a mesa Bryce, which is one of my all-time favorite biomes, so I'm very excited to live here potentially. I have this cool idea where we might terraform and make a kind of custom biome out of it. Some large azure crystals made with prismarine, or if I'm feeling ambitious, diamond, or something of this color. Very excited for that. I realized I needed some food and weapons, so I settled on the other side of the river for now, thinking this will be kind of a fishing village locally. There's salmon, so frequently I'll go in, use this axe, and collect some salmon for food. And then there are materials like a campfire and a smoker at the village. This campfire here is signaling to spawn, where there's a hay bale underneath which makes the smoke go up higher. So I'm hoping that the folks that spawn in will see it and come on over for some early game supplies. I'm reasonably proud of this for now. I have this acacia roof that has oak underneath. The orange acacia is contrasting the oak, which I'm pleased about. I'm quite fond of this trapdoor trick. The waterlogged stairs are waterlogged, so they still provide hydration to soil 4 blocks in, and the trapdoors act as a bit of a stylistic barrier. The orange acacia roof is distinct, and it's angled in 2 directions. It's angled upwards and also lengthwise. I'm experimenting with that. The shape of it looks acceptable. It would look really great if there were a tower here. A short tower, maybe 2 stories, shorter than the village churches. I think it would work well. Right now, it looks like there's something that's meant to be here in this gap. Or we could change the land shaft to match this a little bit over here. One of the pumpkins I took, I am growing. I put the pumpkin back, no worries. But we're growing more here, so we have renewables. And I'm experimenting with what I want this area to feel like. Since the roof is sloping up, it seemed to make sense that we'd want a second floor. So that's what we've got going on here. Blocks to be determined. I'm reasonably fond of the oak log with the bark underneath the fence. I just happen to like it when that texture is visible top down with the fence in the middle. I think it looks good. There's some barrels on either side, which act as storage for the farm, and I quite like how it looks from below. The stone bricks are a nice darker color. Those work, but I'm not sold on this trim here. This might change. In either case, there's going to be a second floor up here. We're going to do something to make sure players don't easily fall down and crush the crops by accident. I've had this happen already. Quite unfortunate. And this was an attempt at some kind of fishing net. The birchwood is meant to show that it's woven together. It's a different material than the roof and the wood here. This is meant to be a structure that's put in the water. And so once we get a design going that we're happy with, we can put that in the water over here. I got chickens. That's incredibly important. Eggs are super useful. And so now every time I walk past, I just collect a bunch of eggs and reinvest into the chicken area. So we'll get a bunch of eggs and eventually set up automatic chicken cooking. Look at that. Almost a stack of eggs already. Beautiful. Some of my goals for the series are to have fun playing. And what I mean by this is I want to make places look nice so that it's more than just utilitarian chests and storage and cave shafts. I want to make the effort actually making the places I inhabit look nice. I think this will be a lot more fun. So that's why I've gone to the effort to try and design a nice looking starter farm area. If I'm going to be in this area, I want it to look nice. So I'll be experimenting with this season. I'm also going to try and use exclusively an axe and a lava bucket as a weapon. I don't have iron, and I need to acquire some to get that lava bucket. I'll tell you more about why, specifically, but I think this might be the most powerful weapon combination for me this season. I'll be focused on kind of more up-close combat, as opposed to long-range bow and arrow or crossbow stuff. Yeah, so that's the plan. Time to go mining. So, we want to make a good-looking mine shaft. We're looking for iron for that lava bucket weapon. Where should we make it? I originally had this mine shaft going here, pretty basic. I tried to make it a little fancier with steps, but realistically, this doesn't look that pretty. We can do better. So instead, I propose that we make a proper mine shaft going deep into the earth with an elevator as well, attached by a rope cable. I'm thinking of the best location to do this, and I think somewhere up in the land would be a little bit better. It would be better suited to go down from there. It's not believable that the pit of mining and resource gathering would be flooded. We don't want that. No bueno. I'm realizing there are a lot of skeletons around and other mobs, and unfortunately the bed is on the other side of the river, so we'll have to go and cross it. A boat would be a good idea at some point, I think. Drowned spawn down here. I've had at least 3 instances of drowns with tridents try to impale me, and twice they succeeded. So we might want a bridge or something similar. Ooh, look at that! Okay, it looks like somebody's living in there. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, maybe we'll go explore that when it's its day. I was wondering where other folks were living. Hey, friend. You seem like you could use some sunscreen. In a bit of a predicament. Oh, I could use some sunscreen. Oh dear. There we go. This biome is so pretty. The biome is still very pretty, despite my near-death experience. Yeah, very excited to explore that way, but maybe in a little bit, once I've got some better gear. As shown in the health bar, my survivability is not maximized, we'll say. I think I saw some skeletons. Ah, okay. With regards to where to place the mine shaft, I'm not sure we should do it right at spawn. We might want a community building here or something like this. But I also don't think it should be right next to the fishing village. This is a farming area, maybe more so than a mining thing. I guess one way we could do it is have it be in that diagonal hill. Dig a shaft going kind of diagonally into the hill, perpendicular to the surface, and then have a mine shaft descending from there. I'm trying to eat fish because I'd like to save the wheat for packed mud blocks. Using water bottles, you can convert dirt, non-grass dirt, regular dirt, into... Hello, sheep. You could be useful. I think you will be useful. I would appreciate a bed. Actually, let's keep you alive. That seems like a better idea. Let's bring you to spawn and have a sheep pit. This seems like a good spot for a sheep pit. In you go. There we are. Now we have a sheep secured. Excellent. Let's go see what that cave is about. Ooh, excellent, sugarcane. This is great. So, thanks to the chicken farm with the eggs and the pumpkin farm, the last ingredient we need for a supply of pumpkin pie is the sugarcane. Very excited about that. We're going to have a sugarcane farm and possibly live off of pumpkin pie. Always make sure there's one left to regrow. This is such a cool intersection of biomes. I love that there's a forest, a jungle, a savanna, and a mesa bryce, and a plains, all right next to each other. There's sheep, horses, trees of different varieties, resources of different varieties, beautiful blocks to build with. Really good stuff. Alright, anyone living in here? Now, it looks like, unfortunately, some footage was lost. So the things that have happened: I got some fish, I decided to go mining in a safe area, I found another sheep, I put it in a pen up there, and we found a mineshaft. Now, I've explored this mineshaft as far as I'm willing. I blocked off the cases where there were cave spiders, and so now I'm about to make my way up. I decided to craft some stone steps to help me back up. This probably... Actually, let's just craft as many as we need. Yeah. I was going to say that this probably isn't enough, but why not just make more? I put them in my offhand so that I could just build and walk. Yeah. One of the pieces of footage that was lost was me discussing the weapon choices for this time when I'm playing. I've never used the lava bucket axe combination, but I think it's the best one, by far. Let's start with the axe. It does the most damage out of any handheld tool of an ore level, more than the sword. Now, the sword has better damage per second because it can be swung faster, and can hit multiple enemies. But I'd much rather the axe, because most of the time, I'm focused on a single enemy at a time, and I'd like to dispatch them and move on to the next one. The axe is best for this. I can do some crits, and the enemy will go down. Now, if I do need crowd control, this is where the lava bucket comes in. The lava bucket is the best weapon in the game. Full stop. But it's especially good for crowd control. Let's talk about the lava bucket. You place it down, and it spreads, so it can hit multiple mobs. It does a lot of damage. I want to say something like 3 or 4 hearts every tick. Damage tick, that is. It also inflicts a debuff, so after a mob leaves the lava, they're still on fire, roasting to a crisp. And, most of all, it's an area effect that doesn't use durability. I can deploy the lava and pick it back up as much as I want. And to me, that's amazing. But it gets even better, because the lava bucket is an area effect weapon that is affected by physics. That's right. I'm able to place it down strategically around corners, and I can predict where the lava will flow to impact enemies. I don't have to see them. I can be completely out of line of sight, completely hidden behind a wall somewhere. And yet, I can still guarantee to inflict damage. That is amazing to me. So the lava bucket is the superior tool, especially early game, before we go to the nether and find mobs that are fire resistant. Even in the nether, it has its uses against hoglins, because they burn and they drop cooked food. It's just perfect. But right now, the lava bucket would be ideal. Now, I am also susceptible to burning, and I am not the most careful person. I have had instances on other worlds where I deployed the lava bucket technique to get some iron from a golem in a village, and there was not much of a village left. But the lava bucket is still worth using. Oh, hello. I wish I had a lava bucket right now, because the llamas would not get mad at me. I don't get aggression if I melt someone. It's completely worth using lava buckets for all of those reasons. And what's best is you can use a lava bucket and an axe in tandem. The way I was just using them, I had stairs in one hand and a pick in the other. The axe uses the left click button to strike, and a bucket uses the right click to deploy and pick up fluids. So together, they'll be used in tandem in the same way that a sword and a bow might be. I contend that this melee-focused area of effect around me focused weapon style is more effective than a sword and a bow, because if I really needed to change my range, I could just swap them out. There's not going to be a situation where I need both long and close range available. Maybe when fighting the Ender Dragon, but that's so far away. And a very niche situation. I think a lava bucket axe combo is going to be far more useful in far more situations. But we just discussed how I'm not the most careful individual. This is very true. If I want to use a lava bucket and avoid perishing, I'm going to need armor. In particular, I'm going to need armor that has fire protection. I've never before used armor with fire protection in survival. I've never thought it was worth it. Regular protection covers you from more things, might as well go for it. but this time, with my axe lava bucket weapon style, I'm going to use fire protection. Well, this means a few things. Fire protection armor needs enchanting, and fire protection uses durability on the armor when I am supposed to take fire tick damage. This means that I need to make the armor either out of something I could renew relatively easily, perhaps once I get an iron farm going, or I need to get mending long term. Mending is something I'd look for anyway, so long term, that's probably the play. But it'll be completely different than I'm used to. I'm used to general protection, so I won't be able to recklessly jump as much. The things we got done today introduced folks to the series, what I'm up to, what I'm all about, showed the building style of trying to make things look pretty right away, and then explored. We dug down in a safe area. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it will. And we even found a mineshaft in Tuff. I'm very excited to use Tuff around this area to decorate. I think it'll look really, really great. Alright, thanks for watching. Tune in next time.